Hey, welcome to Neighborhood Picks Season 2. We got a little quarterbacks list. I'm doing impulsive lists for the rest of July. Top 10s because a top 10 list is really not enough to get going the right way. A top 10 list is perfect to start the conversation. So what I want you guys to do is Neighborhood Picks, hit that like button, subscribe. What I want you guys to do is I want you to listen to the original top 10 list. Then the next week or two, we delve in, we get into it, and we decide, if we disagree with this, disagree with that. A lot of people don't like that I had Patrick Mahomes at 6. Drop your comments in the box. We're going to get started. I'm going to give my initial top 10 list for the backs as of now. And then when I get into it more and see the teams and see how it's going and injuries, then we'll be able to spread out and do our top 30 because right now, you got five backs that are consistent and going to get a workload. Then you got 5 other guys that they're almost there or they used to be there. It's very tricky. So we're going to go through 1 through 10 like we always do. My number 1 running back in the league this year, last year I took number Chubb with the 5 pick. My number 1 running back in 2022-23 season is Jonathan Taylor. He was an All-American sprint champion track. He's a hell of a running back. The next gen stats he had the fastest carry in the league, the next gen. He was running like 22 miles an hour. Henry was second with 21.8. They were both faster than Tyreek Hill's fastest run. But Jonathan Taylor's the fastest. He's the best running back, and the Colts got a damn good team. The Colts are going to be like this year's Rams. It's like Super Bowl or bust. So Taylor coming off 1,811 yards, 5.5 yards a carry. Give me him as my number 1. Right behind him is Derrick Henry, of course. If you see Derrick Henry's workouts, they're amazing. Derrick Henry's not going to fall off anytime soon because he's working so hard, like the squats with the plates and the rubber bands, and he's working so hard that's what Eddie Lacy wished he did. I love how Henry's right behind him. He could be 1 also. So Taylor and Henry are in a class by themselves. Now here's where we get crazy. My number 3, thinking about it quick, impulsively, without diving too deep into everything, I remember Najee Harris last year as a rookie getting a ton of work and producing. I mean, he had 1,200 yards rushing. He was a rookie. I seen him catch 1 million screens and shit like that. So as far as production on the fantasy landscape, I'm putting Najee Harris, young Najee, at number 3. Right behind him is probably a guy that's a little bit of a better running back if I had to just take the best guy, forget stats, Nick Chubb, because that's one of my favorite running backs. Nick Chubb, Najee Harris had 307 carries last year for 1,200 yards. Nick Chubb had 220 carries for 1,260 yards, 5.5 a carry. So Nick Chubb is a fucking stud. So now 1, 2, 3, 4, I don't think you can go wrong this year. And I'm going to go on a limb and say the 5th, Joe Mixon. So it's coming in pretty clear with the top 5 backs. I mean, Jonathan Taylor, Henry, Najee, the workload, what I just explained. Chubb, 5.5 yards a carry, 12.59 yards. That's big. The other guy that's Mr. Consistency like that, Joe Mixon, 1,205 yards on 292 carries. That is not bad. Now, where the hell? Chubb had 228 carries. So they're around the same. Oh, Chubb had 5.5. Okay. See, Najee had a little more carries, less yards. So anyway, we got Joe Mixon coming in at 5th, which I like a lot. He had 300 carries almost last year, 1,200 yards. He averaged over 4 yards a carry. He's a good football player. Bengals are on the up and up. So if I had to just zone in on my top 5, if it's the 1st or 2nd round, I want Jonathan Taylor, I want Henry, I want Najee, I want Chubb, and I want Mixon. Now it gets fucking murky. This is where I don't like it at all. This is why we're going to do 30 quarterbacks. 30 running backs, 30 receivers. Like last year in August as we got going, same exact thing. These are the think tank shows. Provoke some thought. Get your lazy asses in my comments, and let's see what we're going to talk about for the next month. The list, this, that. The top 5 running backs are pretty much there. Now, here's where I have issues. Everybody's got different philosophies. Dalvin Cook, tremendous back. Missed a lot of games. How do we navigate whether we want Dalvin Cook? If you have the 6th or 7th or 8th pick in your draft, you're going to take Dalvin Cook? I don't know if I am because of the injuries. Same thing with Christian McCaffrey. So I don't know about him either. So, you know what? I got Dalvin Cook at 6 because he's so damn explosive. I'll keep Dalvin Cook at 6 because he did have 1,160 yards last year. Number 7 is just the best football player that everybody forgets and nobody gives credit. I don't care what his stats are. I want this guy on my fantasy team this year. Aaron Jones. Devontae's gone. Valdez-Scanlon's gone. Dillon and Jones, I feel, are going to be very important this year, and he's a damn good football player. Sometimes you got to just forget the stats. I don't even want to know his stats. I know he's a damn good football player. I got Aaron Jones at 7. Number 8 is another guy I'm not that high on, but the system in which he plays has everybody going gaga over him. Austin Eckler. All right. I don't know if I'm drafting him, but I got him number 8 on the list. Now, there's a lot of guys I haven't said yet. I'm going to put Saquon Barkley at number 9 because he did come into the league as supposed to be the next Barry Sanders, the greatest player to ever live, and he came off an ACL. Not everybody comes right back. Hopefully he doesn't turn into Todd Gurley, but not everybody comes right back. So I'm going to pencil in Saquon at 9, and I'm going to kick fat boy Zeke Elliott out of my top 10. Out. I don't even want him in there. My 10th running back is my favorite new running back from last year, Javonte Williams from Denver. The kid is a beast. He had only 200 carries. That's 100 carries less than Mixon. He had 200 carries, over 900 yards. The only thing we got to worry about is Gordon, because Gordon had 200 carries, 900 yards. So Melvin Gordon and Javonte Williams each had exactly 203 carries for exactly 900 and change. I see Gordon going a little south and Javonte taking a little bit of the lead. If it was 50-50 last year, I think it'll be 65, my math's off, 35 this year. I like Javonte Williams. He led the nation in yards after contact at North Carolina 2 years ago. I saw the same thing in the NFL, which doesn't always carry over. Denver, good team. I'm putting Javonte Williams in my top 10 because I'm going to be looking to snag him if I could, because I don't know if I want Zeke. Now let's talk about the guys that are not in it. We'll get to them later. But look at the guys. Now here's my top 10. Jonathan Taylor, Derrick Henry, Najee Harris, Nick Chubb, Joe Mixon. We're pretty safe. Dalvin Cook, Aaron Jones, Eckler, Saquon, Williams. We're already shaky. But look at the guys I left out. Alvin Kamara. Why did I leave him out? Because he kicked the fucking guy in the head in Vegas and he suspended the first 8 games or 6 games of the season. I can't take him early. I don't have time for that shit. Kamara, great back. Can't even touch him. Ronald Jones is in the Chiefs. There's all kinds of backs. Montgomery for the Bears. What about Gibson for the Redskins? Only had 1,000 yards last year. Pretty good season. He's up there. Josh Jacobs, Leonard Fournette, Elijah Mitchell for the 49ers. But everybody can't be in the top 10. That's why we're going to break it down. I want comments in the box. I want DMs. I want NOOCH. What the fuck are you thinking about? What are you doing? I want to get some dialogue going. I did a baby list on the quarterbacks. These are my initial top 10 running backs. And I would not be surprised if Jonathan Taylor goes for 2,000 this year. I would not be surprised. Jonathan Taylor is ascending. You can't look at just last year. I've made that mistake many times in my life. Taking Brandon Marshall on the Jets, and then he stunk and couldn't get open. Last year's last year. We got to look at guys who are on the ascend, not the descend. So Jonathan Taylor's on the ascend. Henry should be slowing down, but he works so hard, I think he's still going up. Najee's so young. Did you guys know Najee Harris weighs more than Jerome Bus Bettis in his prime? That's crazy. That's how much bigger and faster the guys are getting now. Najee Harris outweighs Jerome Bettis, and they don't even talk about him like he's big. Harris, Chubb, Mixon, Dalvin Cook, Aaron Jones, Eckler, Saquon, and I'm sneaking in Williams. Kamara's out. Ezekiel Elliott's out. Montgomery's out. Jacobs out. Fournette's out. Gibson's out. Mitchell's out. That's 7 backs that can probably carry your team this year. that we don't have in the top 10. So what is that telling me? There is no clear top 10 for me right now. This is a baby draft, and then we're going to really break it down because as we can see, there's 5 solid, consistent running backs, and even Henry got hurt last year. There's 4 solid, consistent running backs. There's a couple question marks, and if you want my opinion, some of the better running backs are down below. So I could see myself getting a running back in the 4th and 5th round that does the same thing as one of these guys that's a dud in the 1st. So we're going to get really going on this. We got neighborhood picks. We got start and sits. Last week, I didn't even know about that shit till week 16. We're doing our start and sits. We're doing live watch parties. And anybody who really loves football, just come join and let's rock out all year and have fun. I'm here to have fun. I don't give a shit about I get this many subscribers. That shit's going to happen on its own. I want fun. I want people who love football in here. And God bless and salute. Neighborhood picks. I'll be back with my impulse receivers list later or tomorrow. But then we're going the real big breakdowns. If you check my catalog from last year in the beginning of August, we go deep. And we're going to go deep real soon. So deep we put that ass to sleep. Peace.